Turn up this year. He gon' get it.
Welcome to Hard Rock Stadium.
We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. 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 We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. His squad. His squad. His squad. His squad, 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 his squad. I got the whole squad with me now. Train to go. Come play games if you want to. Try to crash eyes. You done took the wrong route. We gon' crash you like a stunt dude. Check y'all like 1, 2. Tap your head like your uncle. You wanna ride, stay buckle. It get loud down here, get wild down here. Turn to feel the jungle. Never disrespect the squad that's defended by a line. And some beats on the feast on the opposition. Another line in the back, singing to the ER. Just in case you got through the first line with tripping. But if for some reason it get crazy, I got watchers on the corner for my safety. Everybody here well coached. Change the weather under pressure, stay cool like an AC. Woo! But we still make heat. Woo! Was you trying to play me? We be 3+ AD, but I'm a fool so low. Can't nothing break me. Be great, only way to do great things. Hit hard, only way to make a statement. Come up in our territory, make a payment. Or be in debt with your neck, gotta play. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. 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 We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. 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 His squad.
I hit them boys. We throw them toys. Y'all saying that QB. We them boys. We the realest. We go gorillas. We out here, homie. You gon' feel us. Don't make me come down. Get in that box. Like I'm red. I'll knock your socks. Won't play y'all boys. Cause we some bullies. We'll take your cookies. Cause y'all some rookies. I'm in the building. Me and Shot Jones. We do lane. We don't play zone. We play that man. So guard your hand. I see your eyes. You're scared,
we
man.
Gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. 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 We gon' defend. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. 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 His squad.
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, the Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
You're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D. Super excited to be here with you on this Spread Kindness Friday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me tell you, the show is jam-packed. It's loaded today, and it's loaded with a lot of stuff. There's so many things going on this weekend, and I can't wait to talk all about it. We're going to have Michelle Kramers on from DolphnsNYC sometime this morning to talk about the MetLife Takeover, and I'm super stoked to talk about that. I know that is one of the biggest Dolphins fan events of the year, And she's going to have all the details about how Dolphins NYC is going to operate this year for the MetLife Takeover. Super stoked about that. Going to have Angel Ortiz on a little bit later, and we are going to talk about whatchamacallit, McGregor versus Poirier, a preview of the UFC 264. I know that I'm super stoked about this fight, and this entire fight card up and down is going to be a great fight card. So we're going to talk with Angel this morning. It's going to be great. And we're also going to have my man Xavier Scruggs on this morning from ESPN as well as Major League Baseball. He has his own podcast for Major League Baseball. And super excited. We're going to talk about the All-Star game. We're going to talk about the Home Run Derby. There's so many things to talk about. We're going to do that this morning. And, it's going to be a fun episode this morning. So I am super stoked about it. I just want to say good morning to everybody in the chat box. Chef Zhu, Big Time, Walk It Like We Talk It, Dolphin Don, Anthony, the newest member, Dolphin Don, my guy, man. Welcome to the family again yesterday. Chef Zhu, just want to say hello to everybody. Super excited about that. Now, every Spread Kindness Friday, I have a pretty awesome person that I bring on. He's a very, very close friend. Well, I don't know if he'll say the same thing about me, but I say the same thing about him. And he runs the #1 tailgate at the Hard Rock Stadium from East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. Hello, I did it again. Bam! I'm talking about my man, the one and only. I'm talking about the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Cameron Scott. What's up, brother?
Hey, good morning, man. Good morning, Steve. And you are a good friend, close friend. And I appreciate those kind words. I'm live this morning from Wrigley Field. How about that, man? It is top of the morning here at Wrigley Field. I am across the street at Hotel Zachary. And glad to be with all of y'all here on Clock Blockers this morning on Spread Kindness Friday. Let's get it.
It's awesome, man. So you are you're at the hotel. Okay, yes. You're on vacation. You're towards the end of your vacation trip, but
yes,
you're in front of the oldest ballpark in America. I think maybe Fenway might be older. I'm not sure if Fenway or Wrigley Field's older, but I've been to Wrigley Field one time. It was amazing, and I only think it's gotten better since then because they've done some modern upgrades around the outside with the bars and the restaurants and the hotels. What is it like there? I mean, you're going to the game today there at Chicago. Like, it doesn't. I don't care who's playing. If you go to Wrigley Field and you're going to a game, it's pretty awesome.
Hey, listen, it is to me Mecca. I grew up about 40 minutes outside of Chicago here in Northwest Indiana. I had the privilege of working here at Wrigley Field. I was the executive chef for the Chicago Cubs. For a season and a half, working for Levy Restaurants. And so this place, has a special place in my heart. So much so that I named my daughter Addison after
Addison Russell.
No, man. The Addison Avenue right here is where Wrigley Field is located on the corner of Clark and Addison. And that's why I named my daughter Addison. So it's clearly a special place for me. And today, Friday, not only are we here with a 1:20 game Central Time, but we're hosting our arch rival, the St. Louis Cardinals, who I'm sure Mr. Xavier Scruggs will come on and talk about that rivalry.
I was about to say, we're going to have Xavier. Like, what are the odds, by the way, to have Xavier on right before All-Star Weekend and you're at Wrigley Field? Like, the timing couldn't even be more perfect, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm kind of hoping he walks through the lobby here and he can sit down with me. But, Friday afternoon games are special here because it's the only game on the Major League Baseball schedule. It's Friday afternoon, and it's the St. Louis Cardinals, our downstate rivals. And to say that Wrigley Field is going to be lit, man, it's a special place on Friday afternoons.
Before I kind of get into that, so obviously doing what I do, I've always had a special place in my heart for announcers. And so WGN used to be the home of the Chicago Cubs nationally. And so I grew up watching Chip Carey and Steve Stone, who no longer, either one of them, I want to say Chip now works for the Braves and Steve Stone might do the White Sox. I'm not
That's
sure.
Correct. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And
I know my stuff.
I grew up, obviously I'm a couple decades older than you maybe, but I grew up watching Jack Brickhouse and Lou Boudreau. And then after them was Harry Carey, who was legendary for his 7th inning stretch, who they still broadcast. So I've got quite a history.
I'm not as old as you are, so I don't remember Harry Carey. But what I do remember of Harry Carey is Will Ferrell's impersonation on Saturday Night Live. If I could be anything, I'd be a hot dog. I put relish and mustard all over me. I'd be delicious. That's all I can think of every time I hear Harry Carey is I can just picture Will Ferrell.
Well, what's funny is that Harry Carey started out his career as a broadcaster for the St. Louis Cardinals in the 50s. And he had broadcast games for almost 50 years, and if not more. And he is a legend and a Hall of Fame broadcaster. But, man, they broke the mold.
I never knew that. I never knew he started at St. Louis.
Absolutely.
Because when you hear St. Louis broadcasters, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Well, for me, it's Red Shandies, but
everybody would say Buck.
Buck, absolutely.
Jack Buck.
And he's a Hall of Famer as well.
Oh man, that's so awesome, dude. Like, I'm a little jealous. Literally, we're about to have our man Xavier Scruggs come on and hop on here in a few minutes. And then at 9:30, we're going to have Angel Ortiz hop on. And Angel's going to, talk about the UFC fight, the big fight card that's happening tomorrow night, which I'm super excited about. I know people in the fight and the chat box were going at it yesterday. And what was funny? Everybody yesterday was also going about the boxing match, Fury and Wilder, which got postponed. That's why boxing isn't as cool as UFC.
Yeah, that kind of stinks. Fury and his camp, a couple in his camp came up with some positive tests, and that was really
honestly, I'm not, because I want to watch the McGregor UFC fight card, and so now, and if I was going to watch any boxing match, it would have been the Fury Wilder fight. So now I'll get to watch that entire card whenever that comes out again.
October 9th is when they're rescheduling that for. But I was a little disappointed. But you're right, man. McGregor and Poirier. I'm a Diamond Dustin fan through and through. The press conference yesterday was McGregor.
Was a little fun. Was a little fun.
Hey, nobody hypes a fight more than McGregor, and nobody brings more fans to Las Vegas.
Man took the hot sauce and threw it out. Like, I was laughing my butt off, dude. I thought it was too funny. I thought it was too funny.
But
he
brings an army. He brings an army to Las Vegas, man.
If you want to look up some entertaining press conferences, just look up UFC press conference Conor McGregor, and I think you'll have a good hour and a half of just laughing your butt off, because they're so good. They're so good. Also, going to have Michelle Kramers on to talk about the MetLife Takeover. Have you done the MetLife Takeover?
That's one I haven't, and I'm planning on doing it this year for sure.
Oh, Cam, my guy. We're talking about like the mecca of all out of fan tailgates. Like if anybody hosts a tailgate, right, for a Miami Dolphins game outside of Miami, DolfansNYC is how you do it. Like, the MetLife Takeover is how you do it.
And get up there.
Dude, I mean, I've been a part of some amazing experiences over at the MetLife Takeover where we've been over 2,000 deep, taking over 4 or 5 sections up at the top of MetLife, and then we just destroy the Jets, and everybody leaves, and it's only us in the stadium, and you can hear us in the fourth quarter, and it's dope. It's awesome. And there's no, in my opinion, there's no better feeling than beating the Jets at New York and only Dolphins fans in the building. It's awesome.
Man, I'm looking forward to Tua throwing for about 670,000 yards on those Jets this year.
I know, right? I know. I'm super excited about it. All right. Well, look, we're gonna have our friend to the program, Xavier Scruggs, come on here in a few minutes. I guess we can kind of get started on the talk before he gets on there. So let's talk real quick. Let's kind of rewind a little bit. There was a big walk-off this week for the Miami Marlins. Did you see that?
Yeah, man, it was huge. And you know what's crazy about Thick Jesus, as we like to call him, Thick Jesus hit that game-winning bomb in the bottom of the ninth. That was his first home run at Lone Depot Park this season.
It was absolutely insane. And listen,
they took 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers are in disarray right now, right? Like, look, you know, their number one pitcher, he's not here. That's a whole other story that we just won't get into today. But, you know, they're missing their number one pitcher, who's probably not going to come back and play for them, right? You know, there's other things like, you know, having opportunity or there's injuries, and all of a sudden it just looks like the Dodgers are imploding, and I don't really have a good answer as to why, except for it's just that time of year, and it's starting to look like things are going downhill for them.
I think Xavier will probably underscore this. Every team has its ups and downs, and, you know, a little 3-game skid here or there, you know, it doesn't break your season. Now, the Cubs, you know, got creamed again last night, and I think they've lost 12 of the last 13 games. Now, that's a skid.
That is a skid. There's no doubt about that. All right, man, without further ado, we're going to bring on friends to the program. We're going to talk a little Major League Baseball, Home Run Derby, All-Star Game. I'm talking about my man, Xavier Scruggs. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Good to see you guys again.
Hey, good morning, Xavier.
Hey, Xavier, where are you
morning.
at right now? Just out of curiosity, are you home? Are you?
No, I'm at the beach, Siesta Key, Florida. Here, I'm on vacation.
So you're
actually
in Florida,
Yeah.
while Cameron's at the ballpark at Wrigley Field. Look,
Oh,
I'm at your
wow.
second home, Xavier.
That's awesome, man.
he was like, "Man, I
It's a
wonder
beautiful
if
place,
Xavier's
bro.
doing the game today."
Cardinals Cubs series going on too. That's a big one.
And I was telling Steven, there's no better baseball in Major League Baseball than a Friday afternoon game at Wrigley between the Cubs and the Cardinals, man.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, what it meant
That's
to you.
solid, man. Hey, that meant a lot to me, just because the rivalry you think about, you've heard it for so long, and then to finally be a part of something like that, you don't get to experience things like that in your life. And when you do, and you finally get to that highest echelon of baseball, and then the highest of rivalries, that's like a moment you just have to soak in forever. That's something that you just, you know, and I got to actually be a part of doing like my job, producing for the Cardinals during a time like that too. So when you're a young player coming up, it's always like, man, you want to produce, but you want to produce in the biggest moments. And that's Cubs Cardinals series right there. So I had a great opportunity to do that. Wrigley Field is one of my favorite fields too, because it's just that old school feel to it, like right in the middle of everything going on, and just in the middle of the street. Like, it's not blocked off. All the fans have access to the players. It's crazy. So I love that part of it. I love how close the fans are to the dugout as well. They almost can reach out and touch you. You can hear all the boos, everything in your ear. So it's amazing.
Xavier, you can't hit it. You go back to St. Louis. You can't do it, man.
All that, man. All that. You can hear it so clearly. Don't ever let the players tell you they can't hear what the fans are saying. You can hear it definitely right there in Wrigley.
Yeah, I was telling Steven and my wife earlier, like, she's never been to a Friday afternoon game at Wrigley. It's happy hour, brother. And when you got St. Louis in town, it's going to be lit.
Yes, man.
And it's right before All-Star Weekend too, and things are a little bit crazy for that standpoint too. So
yes,
you know, let me ask you a few things, because you said some things there I just kind of want to break down and get into real quick. When you are at an old stadium like Wrigley Field, right? And then you go into a new stadium, the player facilities, the batting cages, the locker room, stuff like that. Does that play a big difference on if you're going to enjoy the series there or the weekend there or not?
I mean, go ahead.
No, I mean, you were about to answer it, so go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, you know, sometimes it can affect kind of your attitude going into a place. Like, I remember, like, everybody as a Cardinal, you already hate the Cubs, but then you go to Wrigley Field and it still had the old lockers that were really tight, close to everybody, not much space in the locker room. So some of the facilities were still not as well done as they are today because they did a lot of renovations. So you're always looking forward to going to the best facilities, but at the same time, when you hit some of those facilities that aren't the best, it almost gives you more motivation, like beat up on this team, man. Let's get in, let's beat up on them and get out of here because we don't want any part of these facilities. We're tired of it. We want to go back home. And that's another thing on the road too. Like everybody you want to get done on the road and come out on top, at least winning a couple series or at least sweeping one series, because you want to try to make your time on the road the best and then be able to head back home, because that's one thing. There's no place like home. You always want to be getting back home.
All right, man. So let's kind of get into the week festivities that are about to come up. So, I'm going to say it. You almost made an all-star game a few times. You were that good of a. All right, I'm maybe not a few times, but bro, what is it like? I don't know if you've been at it from the other side, especially working for ESPN now, or if you have anything that you're going to be doing. Are you doing anything this week coming up with them at the?
Yeah.
All-Star game?
I will do some stuff. I'll do the celebrity softball game. I'll MC that. So that'll be a pretty cool little experience. The softball game right before the game the next day, or right before the home run derby the next day, and then I'll be a draft representative for the Cardinals for the draft on Sunday, I believe the 12th. So that'll be cool too. It's like they have the draft there at the All-Star weekend. So that'll be cool, and all the greats, a lot of great representatives. So that'll be a good little event to be a part of, for sure.
We're going to have to get you the draft representative for the Marlins one day. That way we can deck you in some Miami sports music gear, and you can be like, the Miami sports music. I mean, the Miami Marlins pick.
I'm down, man. I'm doing one team that I played for. Hopefully I get to do another team that I played for. That would be cool.
All right, man. So let's talk about, the All-Star game. So for a very long time, the game didn't, quote unquote, mean anything. Then for years it did. Now it doesn't again. Do you take stock in that if I'm a player of a bad team and every team has to have a representative there, do you like that? I've never liked that. I feel like if you're good enough to play, you're going to get in. And I understand it's a popularity contest from a starting view, but like the other roster is not necessarily a popularity contest. It's how good you do. And I think players and managers understand that. Do you like the fact that every team has to have a representative?
Yeah, that one's a tough one for me because I feel like, every team doesn't necessarily have an all-star player on it all the time. And sometimes that can be the case. Sometimes that might not be the case. But for me, when you think about an all-star game too and the all-star events, as long as you have players from every team that are represented in the events, because this is a time when you get to highlight baseball's greatest personalities as well. So some of those guys deserve to be at the all-star events, but maybe some of them don't deserve to be in the game. So
correct.
That one's tough for me because I love seeing every team represented, but at the same time, other guys are deserving a lot.
People
of times.
Get snubbed. There are some people that got snubbed this week.
But isn't it about fan engagement? Isn't it about, bringing every, market's, fan base to that game and have them enjoy their game and be proud of that one player? Like for Miami, it's Trevor Rogers this year. And he's had an outstanding, rookie season. And so we're proud as Miami Marlins fans to see him participate in the game. It's an honor for him.
Right.
And I see it from that standpoint.
Right. No, definitely. I think that's important to see it from. And I mean, if you think about it, you have some of the teams this year, like a Trevor Rogers, who he deserves to be an all-star. This guy has been absolutely phenomenal on the bump.
He's been fired, dude.
Yeah,
just amazing.
It goes both ways. Sometimes you might have a team that's not playing as well, still has a guy that stands out, but is actually an all-star. And it could be a team that has been struggling and then they don't have anybody that really stands out. So that's where I struggle with it, is like, and then you could have some of those teams that are balling out and maybe they only have one or two guys on the all-star team and maybe they deserve 3 or 4 or 5 guys on the team. So you just never know. But I totally agree with you. I think it's a great opportunity to highlight each team, each fan base, especially, market some of these players that a lot of times we don't get to see. I think of like a Baltimore Orioles Cedric Mullins, like he's going to be on the highest stage. He might start in the game. So
he deserves to start in the game. He does,
yeah.
Like his number. Don't get me started. I'm from Baltimore. Like right now, I'm going crazy that he's not starting because Mike Trout is, and I love Mike Trout, but Mike Trout's been hurt.
Right.
2 or 3 months of the year. Why is he starting? But it goes again to the fan engagement, as Cameron put it. It's a popularity contest for the starters, which I can live with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and I'm hoping that's an opportunity for Cedric with Trout being injured. But that's like one of those things where you get a player that not a lot of markets get to see a lot of times. So an opportunity for him to shine, show his personality. I think of Pete Alonso, who had a custom artist do 8 of his home run derby bats and make them all look nice and all these different colors, like a chance to show your personality in every opportunity. I think of the equipment that you can do with it.
I look at Xavier doing great segues like the home run derby, because that's the next thing I want to talk about. So look, the home run derby is coming up. I do want to remind everybody, the Miami Sports Music is doing a 50-50 contest for the home run derby. If you guys want to get in, it's $25 per player, and you guys pick your player, the total number of home runs in your email, and you send that through Cash App. And we're going to have a little bit of fun on Monday night watching the home run derby. But you got Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, Salvador Perez, Pete Alonso, Joey Gallo, the local kid there in Denver, Trevor Story, Matt Olson, and my boy, Trey Mancini. Tell me, man, what do you see about this? Like, what do you see with the home run derby on Monday? And you see these names,
man. I'm excited with all these names. I think they have such great storylines, right? Like Shohei Ohtani and what he's done so far with the amount of home runs he's hit, leading us in MLB. I think of the longest home runs he's hit, 470 feet against the Royals, June 8th. I think of the hardest balls he's hit, 117 miles an hour against the Yankees. Like, this dude is going to be a show. And then he's going up against a Juan Soto, who's obviously been one of the youngest, brightest stars in our game today. So you can't count him out. He doesn't seem like an 8 seed, but he is. And then I think you mentioned the Joey Gallo, right? He's been so hot as of late. That's what's going to be exciting about watching him. And he hits them just as far as anybody else and has as high as anybody else. So, and then I also think about there's no humidor factor now. So these balls are going to be flying out of the stadium.
We're going out the stadium.
We're going to see bombs well over 500 feet in this thing, man. It's going to be exciting. I think of your boy, Trey Mancini. Like, I've seen him take batting practice. He has some sneaky pop. Like, this dude doesn't necessarily hit him out at the same rate as everybody else. But if you think about where he hits most of his home runs, center field, he has just as much juice as everybody else. So
I've been seeing that man take batting practice at Camden Yards for the last 5 years, bro. The boy's got pop. He's got big pop.
Yes,
and,
he does.
He's a great story. Don't get me wrong. Look, he's coming off of I want to say it was stage 4 cancer, and his story is great, and he's back in the majors, and he's healthy, and he's here. But I don't know if it's a common misconception. I think that's not fair to say. But there is the theory that if you use the home run derby, that your swing goes to crap in the second half of the season, right? And so you hear like Shohei Ohtani, and I do want to talk about him in a minute, but let's talk about the swings for now. There's a rumor that he hasn't taken batting practice all year, and so, which, by the way, I think is crazy, especially for how hot he's hitting. Yeah. Do you think that's a real thing, that players mess up their swing in the home run derby?
I don't think it's so much as mess up your swing. I think and I talked to Kyle Schwarber about this because he did the home run derby in 2019, I believe.
And he turned it down this year, right?
Yeah,
he did. I was mad. I wanted to see him in it.
Yeah, and he's got the hamstring issue going on too now, so that's going to be something that he's going to have to wait along. Hopefully, an opportunity for next year. But I talked to him, and he said it's more of that physical of what it does for your obliques, right, and your core. It doesn't necessarily mess with the mechanics of your swing, but you give so much energy and so much as far as power and movement that by the time you're done with the actual event, like you have to recover, and it takes a lot of time to recover from that because you're not used to taking so many swings at max effort. And he said it's more of a physical recovery for your body because you don't want to go back out to playing games and taking that same max effort swing every time. And end up getting injured or hurt something. So it's more of a recovery factor for a lot of these guys because it's something that they're not used to doing. If you think about batting practice, these guys are more focused on hitting the gaps, not necessarily trying to pull every ball as far as they can. So it's a totally different swing once you enter into the home run derby, but it's not mechanical. It's more of the physical that comes along with that recovery afterwards.
You know, that's a good point, Xavier. And I was thinking about Joey Gallo. I'm a big Joey Gallo fan, but if you analyze his preparation, not so much his swing, man, that guy goes through a lot of machinations and gets himself adjusted in the box before he swings, and he's a max effort swinger, right? And you know, this format isn't set up for somebody just to take time. You know, you got to swing, you know, kind of like batting practice. And so I'm interested to see Joey Gallo and how he sets up and handles this, because I see more quieter swings like Mancini or Matt Olson, who we're not talking about, maybe having some success because their swing mechanics and their preparation is more stayed in that box. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that. I feel like some of those guys that we see that it almost looks a little bit easier for them as far as energy-wise to hit homers. I see them being able to, you know, go a little bit further in this home run derby and extend themselves because of that max energy factor of, okay, I don't have to give everything I have on one swing, right? You mentioned a Matt Olson, somebody that has such a sweet swing, and he's been, you know, one of the guys that's hit the most home runs since being called up in 2017. I think 120 home runs. So he's somebody that can hit them at a high clip without the max effort. So and I think those are some of the guys that are fun to watch too, is how easy it looks to see them swing the ball, swing the bat, and it just fly off of their bat, right? They don't have to swing super hard or anything like that. So I think that plays a huge factor in everything, especially at Coors Field, because the ball will go if you just hit it the right way.
Absolutely. And I'm excited for the home run derby because I think since they've changed the format of it, it's brought more fans into it and it's more exciting. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Two more things I want to talk about before I give you out of here, X, because we got a whole loaded morning coming up today. First thing I want to talk about is Shohei Ohtani, because let's call a spade, dude. Major League Baseball has never seen anybody like this since Babe Ruth. And that's not an exaggeration. That is a fact statement based on what this man has done.
Right.
With pitching and hitting, and we're going to get to see that in the All-Star game, which I get goosebumps just thinking about, that we're going to have a pitcher play DH in the American League at a National League ballpark. Like, all right, I'm a little excited. So, what are your thoughts of this? Because, I think he's the best player in the last 50 years, maybe. I don't think that's wrong to say.
Yeah, no, I marvel at the fact of what we've been able to see, especially, the adjustments that he's made as a player. Like, it wasn't like he was at the same status at this time last year, right? We were talking about some of those injuries and some of those, those inconsistencies, especially from the pitching standpoint, and he was hurt from that pitching standpoint. So we never saw quite, what we might expect from him. And then seeing what he's done this year, and he's done it at such a consistent clip. Like, he's hit balls far, hit balls hard. He's been one of the most consistent hitters in our game as far as approach, and he knows what he's doing as a plan. And pitchers still haven't figured out how to get him out or how to stop and try to get him to hit weak contact. So the thing is, from the adjustment standpoint for me is how tough he's been. He's got the major league leading home runs, but he's been one of the bright stars for his team, and his team hasn't played up to where we thought they might offensively, right? So for him to do what he's doing on a team like the Angels, who have some stars but still haven't played to their capacity, I think that's what's most impressive about this guy. And then just the fact that he has that mental capacity to go from pitching to hitting, because it's hard enough to do just one. And the fact that he's doing both, And then I think of, I'm a big adjustment guy, right? So he had that start with the Yankees where he didn't even get out of the first inning, but then he came back and was able to go 6 strong innings and keep his team in the game. No walks, exactly. And so the fact that he's able to do that and understand how to get better within this game still right now, I think he's just now touching the surface of how good he can be.
We haven't even seen how good he can be yet.
And people forget, the casual fans forget, he tore his UCL in his pitching arm just 2 years ago. And this guy is out here throwing 99 and hitting bombs and covering the plate like no other player in the league right now. It's really amazing and must-see TV.
Definitely, man.
Last thing I want to talk about before I bring on our next guest today. So Major League Baseball was supposed to do this last year, and because of COVID, they weren't able to. They are going to Field of Dreams, and they're playing a game at Field of Dreams. Number one, are you doing anything with that?
No, not that I know of at the moment.
If you do, I need to know. And I might be making a trip out to Iowa, and I might need your help sneaking into that thing because I'm a big movie buff. I love baseball movies. I love sports movies. I mean, is this cool that Major League Baseball is going to play a game at Field of Dreams? That's pretty cool, man.
Man, that's one of the coolest things that I could even imagine as a fan, as a player, somebody associated with an organization, whatever it may be. But just to see, and I'm a movie guy too, so just to see the opportunity for them to Major League Baseball to go out of their way and make this thing happen, it shows you how much they care about really trying to market the game in different ways. And, as far as what we talk about them being so far behind in so many ways, like at least we see them doing some things like this. This is one of those things that I say, okay, they're making some stride. They're doing something great for the game. They're allowing us to reminisce older moments in baseball history when it comes to baseball sports movies.
Yep.
So I think this thing is so special, man. I'm glad that we get to see this happen because for a while we didn't know if it was going to happen. Now it's on, and it's going to be a special moment.
And it's not like at the end of that movie every time I cry or anything when the dad comes to play and catch. I'm not saying that they are. X, man, I love you, brother, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your vacation to come on this morning. I definitely want to have you on more. In fact, I'd love to have you on next week maybe to talk about the Home Run Derby and everything and just kind of tell us how the atmosphere was about the Celebrity All-Star Game and all that, just to get your thoughts on all that. But I appreciate you coming on, brother. And where can people – tell people need to let people know you have one of the best podcasts in all of sports. Tell people where they can find all this stuff, man.
Yeah, hey, you can go check out the podcast on Spotify. It's called The Bigs. Check it out on Spotify, Apple, wherever else you get your podcasts. And follow me on all the platforms, Xavier_Scruggs, man. I'm here for it. Hit me in the DMs, questions, anything you guys got, comments, I respond. So I'm not one of those guys that doesn't respond to people. Hit me up whenever.
Go ahead and slide in his DMs. He's giving me permission to slide in his DMs.
More food pics, Xavier. More food pics. Hey, while you're out there in Siesta Key, man, it's the best beach in America. Not only Florida, but maybe America. But hit up the Salty Dog Cafe on the north side of the island, man. It's good fish sandwich.
Hey, I got you. I appreciate that. Salty Dog. Okay.
And when you do that, you got to take a picture and you need to tag Cameron and Miami Sports Music.
Yep. All right. I got you.
X, you're the man, brother. I love you, man. Be good.
Hey, thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Take it easy.
All right. Have a good day.
That was Xavier Scruggs of ESPN. Oh, man, I love Xavier. He's so awesome every time you get to talk to him, man.
Man, it's great, and it's a privilege to have him on Miami Sports Music and Clock Blockers in the morning. He's definitely a huge presence on ESPN, and we're lucky to have him on the show.
All right, without further ado, we got to go on to our next guest because we have another guest on after that. So let's get going. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I have an amazing guest here with me today from the #1 out-of-town fan club experience, from the #1 tailgate that's outside of Miami besides East 32 Dolphins Tailgate at Hard Rock. I'm talking about the one and only Michelle from Dolphins NYC for the MetLife Takeover. What's up, Michelle? Take yourself off mute. That way we can hear you.
You'd think after a year and a half of working remotely, I would get that mute button. Thanks,
Good morning,
Steven.
Michelle.
That was an awesome intro. Like, I want to set that as my alarm clock ringtone every morning. Like, I want to wake up to that introduction every morning. That was awesome.
Just blow my head up a little bit. Go ahead. I'm here for it.
Good morning, Michelle. How are you? It's first
Good
time.
morning. Good morning. It's so great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on. This is awesome.
Well, I'm super excited about it. You and Cameron, by the way, in my opinion, have the two best tailgates. I don't think you two have ever quite met yet, right?
No, we haven't.
No, definitely not. I mean, imagine like if we collaborated on one like giant global tailgate.
Oh my gosh, it would blow the world up, I think.
Totally.
As you see what I'm doing here on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network.
Bringing people together.
Boy, I'm over here making things happen. All right, look. I am super excited about having you on this morning. So first and foremost, tell the people who you are. Tell people about Dolphins NYC before we get into the MetLife Takeover.
Okay. So basically, my name is Michelle Kramers. Started as a Dolphins fan when I was, I don't know, 2, 3, something like that. Went to my first game when I was 10. Anyway, fast forward, I was living in New York for quite some time. And my friend Michelle and I, we started a video vlog back before they were called vlogs. And we kind of went around for a couple seasons filming and interviewing Dolphins fans from out of town.
The two Michelle's, right? The two
Michelle's.
Yep.
That's right.
I remember.
Yeah, that was like
that was a big deal.
Decades ago or something. No, it was 2007, actually. That was an unfortunate year to start that, but it was still a lot of fun. We got to meet a lot of really cool fans, including Nate Igor Smith, who we met in New York, and then through the Miami Dolphins Web Weekend network that they put together, which is an incredible group of Dolphins fans who run message boards and websites around the world. And with Igor, we kind of started after the Two Michelle's website. That once we kind of sunsetted that, we noticed that there were so many fans in New York City, Dolphins fans, walking around, going to this bar and that bar, and just kind of like sprinkled all over the place. And Igor and I were like, man, we got to bring everyone together. So we found a bar that didn't have a team, really, like a team affiliation. So we talked to the manager and we checked them out. It was Third and Long. Talked to Curtis, the manager. He was awesome. Welcomed us with open arms. Igor actually on the Dolphins NYC Twitter yesterday posted a picture from the archive of our very first flyer that we printed. We hosted a draft day party, and we had drink specials and raffles and just a lot of fun. And it was before we were even called Dolphins NYC, which is it's just really funny looking at this old flyer. And we saw the response. People were really into it. We built the Facebook page. We came up with Dolphins NYC. And that first season we promoted it. Yeah, there it is. That's right.
That's pretty cool.
You know what's funny about that day? It was after a long and crazy winter. That was like the nicest weather day of the whole year. And Igor and I were like, oh, come on, seriously? Like, that's the one day nobody wanted to go and sit inside a bar and watch the draft on TV. They wanted to be out in the park going.
I like it. At the bottom, it says Fintini's, $4.
Yes.
I want to fill $1 Fintini.
Somebody asked us to bring those back. So I think we might need to talk to Slattery's and maybe bring those back for the first game of the season. But yeah, so, we didn't get as big of a crowd as we wanted because the weather was just too nice to compete with. So, but that was our first official event. And then that fall, when we had our week 1 watch party, we ran some Facebook advertising. We showed up at the bar and there was a line around the corner. And we were like, oh man, we started something here. That was pretty special. And then it evolved into the MetLife Takeover.
So let's talk about the MetLife Takeover. So the MetLife Takeover now, this has been what, 8 years of it?
So
right?
last year not last year because we didn't do one last year, but 2 years ago we celebrated the 10th anniversary
10th, okay.
of MetLife Takeover, and it was amazing. We have Dolphins alumni that come out every year for the tailgate. They film the Cup of Joe pregame show from the tailgate, and I have to give a million thanks to the Miami Dolphins organization because they are there consistently every year. They support our efforts. We've partnered with them where they've helped us by providing some really cool memorabilia that we can raffle off, and then we use those proceeds to donate back to the Miami Dolphins Foundation. So, just before MetLife Takeover started, Igor and I were noticing that we wanted to create kind of an even more fun and elevated experience during those game days. So instead of just being a group of people that watch football and drink beer, we thought, well, let's raffle off some stuff, see what we can do. And we raised a little bit of money. The first raffle, like $200, donated it to a charity. And we're like, well, that was kind of fun. Let's try it again. And this was Igor and I like raffling off stuff from our memorabilia collections. And then we started buying stuff and getting stuff donated, and slowly that kind of grew. And so year after year, we had bigger prizes and better prizes. And then we started the MetLife Takeover, which has historically been one of our biggest fundraisers. And we've since then established a 501c3. We're an official charity. So we've donated tens of thousands of dollars to various charities over the years. But to answer your question, the MetLife Takeover was born because, the Dolphins come up to New York to play the Jets every single year.
They do.
Yeah. And we've seen the Jets fans invade Hard Rock Stadium. So why can't we do the same in their house? So that first.
And nobody does it like you guys, let me tell you.
Thank you. And the first takeover, there were 32 of us. It was like.
That number's grown just a little bit now.
Just a little bit. I mean, we like to reminisce about that day when I brought my laptop to the bar and sat down, and I was going on StubHub buying up like rows of 10, and there was like a crowd of people in front of me, and I was like, all right, I got row 27. Who's into 27? And they were like, money. And they're like, I'm in. So it's like, all right, you got 5 tickets, you got 3, you got 4. Okay, we filled row 27, and then we were able to fill 3 back-to-back rows. And so we had 32 people sitting together, and that was, we thought this was taking over, right? At the time, that was a big deal, 32 people. And then, it just grew from there, 64, and then the following year, 299. And then at one point we hit 1,200, and we were like, oh, that's taking over. Forget 32.
I feel like that one year, like we had like 4, I say we, but I was there, so I say we had like 4 sections that we took over.
Yeah,
so
at a certain point, the Jets created their group ticket department, and they reached out to us because they saw what we were doing. And they're like, "Can we work with you to get your?" And I said, "Well, yes, we can work together, but what I don't want is 30 people here, 60 people here, 20 there." I said, "I want you to give us like 2 sections. Like we want to all sit together. Can you help us with that?" And they're like, all right, well, let's see what we can do. We're moving our seating around, blah, blah, blah. So he came back to me and he was like, all right, here's what we can do. And sure enough, we had row after row after row after row in 2 neighboring sections. Now, they can't do that across, what I want is the whole upper deck. But we're,
not yet. Right? We'll get there. Oh, we will get there.
So we're able to get pretty much the majority of 2 sections. And then if demand is high and more people want tickets, then we start looking at the 2 sections on the outside of those. And we don't have as many seats there, but we still have like a group of 40 here and a group of 20 there. So we just kind of fill them in as we go along.
Cameron, you want to talk about the tailgate?
Yeah. Tell me about the kid tailgate, Michelle. What do you guys offer for the fans for the MetLife Takeover?
Yeah, no, glad you asked. So we started partnering with a company called Urban Tailgate a few years ago. And thank God, because before that, it was like us scrambling to go to Costco. Nobody had a car because we were in New York City, buying all the food and figuring out a grill situation. So now Urban Tailgate takes care of all of that, and it's really elevated the tailgate experience. So you show up there and you've got your standard tailgate fare, the burgers and hot dogs and chips and stuff, but they specialize in like really good pasta dishes too. I mean, they've had penne alla vodka, they've had like a baked ziti. I think one year there was a lasagna. They have their world famous meatballs that they simmer overnight. Like it's just, I mean, it's really good. And then drinks, all you can eat, all you can drink, basically for the duration of the tailgate. And it's amazing, honestly.
Oh, that sounds so exciting.
And we also have a DJ. We have DJ Tropic. We have Solo
Who's that
D.
guy? I don't know who that guy is.
Solo D. Yeah, I mean,
I did talk with Nate this year that maybe Clock Blockers could come out for that Saturday night party and do a live stream at the bar. I don't know if that's, he told me that you had to, give your Michelle approval on something like that. But I was thinking maybe we do like a 2-hour live stream from the bar that Saturday night for Clock Blockers Radio. I'm just saying.
Steven, I thought you'd never ask.
See what happens around here. I get stuff done.
Let's make this happen. Seriously.
I'm super excited. Like, in my opinion, MetLife Takeover is the best tailgate outside of Hard Rock. Like, it is hands down. The experience is amazing. A lot of people don't, think, hey, it's the Jets. What are Jet fans like? We've never, not one time, had any issues with the Jet fans that I've been there.
No.
You've been doing this a hell of a lot longer than I've been going. I've only gone to like 4 MetLife takeovers. You've been doing this for over 10 years. You guys never had any run-ins. It's a very safe environment. It's very family friendly. And that's one of the best parts of it. There are so many kids that have come to this thing with their families that have never seen a Dolphins game before, but because the Dolphins are in New York, it's such a great family trip for people to be like, all right, we'll go to New York, we'll spend the weekend in New York, and then we'll go see the Dolphins and the Jets. Tell us about like the experience itself of like the Saturday night event, the tailgate, and what it is like family friendly and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically it's because Igor and I lay down the law, right? Like we tell people from the very beginning.
No problems. I don't want no problems, Michelle.
Well, no, but that's the thing is when people buy tickets, they're automatically on that mailing list where we send out the information about game day as we're coming up to the date. And one of the things that we emphasize is, listen, we do this every year and we get invited back. The Jets are the ones that invite us back. It's sadly the power is in their hands, but at any point they can say, no, your group is disruptive and rowdy and we don't want you there. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to ever be in that position before ever. And so we always tell people, don't be the person that ruins MetLife Takeover for everybody. Like stay, be cordial, be kind. Look, it's one thing to like have some friendly banter. Like we've all done that with Jet fans, have some friendly banter, but fighting, throwing stuff, like that's just unnecessary. It creates just a terrible environment. And so we tell people, look, you get caught fighting, you are forever banned from MetLife Takeover, like forever. And people heed that warning. Like everybody is really respectful. We also, a few years ago, we established some family friendly rows. So as we're getting ticket requests in, if somebody asks to be in a family friendly section, we tend to just try and block off like, I don't know, usually it's like 30, 45 seats for people with families with small children. So at least they're kind of all sitting together. So the likelihood of hearing a curse word is reduced.
There's no curse words never mind. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way really to regulate that. I mean, I'm guilty of it too, but
it's tough watching a Dolphins game. Let me tell you.
It's, and sometimes hearing what the Jets fans say, it sort of makes you want to respond, but yeah, everyone's been really respectful. But as far as the whole experience, I mean, Igor and I, we didn't want it to just be about take the train, go to the game, and then go home. No, like it's go big or go home for us. So there's the Saturday night party, which is awesome because a lot of people do travel in, and that's a good opportunity to just say hi to everyone.
former players like Jay Fielder has been there before.
Yep, we've had former players, we've had members of the Miami Dolphins organization stop by. It really is just a nice opportunity to get together, and we make it on the earlier side of the evening because the next day we start pretty early in the morning. But we've had Solo D perform at the Saturday night party. Igor and I were texting yesterday about some ideas as well. We're obviously going to have you guys out there recording the live radio show, which I'm really excited about. I know, it's official. It's happening.
See, you just made my day, Michelle.
That's awesome, Michelle. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm really pumped. Really pumped. And also, like, we've got members of DolfansNYC who have been with us since the beginning. So if you want to talk to some great people and just hear a little bit more about the history of the club, that's
what I want to do. Like, so this is my vision. So look, everybody who's watching the show, just forget the next few minutes. I'm over here conducting business with Michelle. Okay. My dream is that Saturday night we do the show, we do a live stream and we, get to interview DJ Tropic. And then at the tailgate, I even want to do something at the tailgate because I think you'll get a lot more fans there, but it'll be so many opportunities for, all right, hey, why don't you come on for 5 minutes? Tell me about, is this your first time at the MetLife Takeover? Or Michelle and Igor, you guys come on for 10 minutes, explain what you guys have done. And then the best part about Dolphins NYC is there's so many people in Dolphins NYC that play such a big part in trying to put that whole weekend together. And so, I just want to be able to talk to everybody.
It'll tie in seamlessly with what we're planning on doing with East 32 Dolphins Tailgate and running a live podcast at the tailgate and featuring fans.
Did you just hit something big on my channel?
Hey,
man. That there might be a live pregame tailgate
and opening to the fans and talking about the fans' experience and listen, and doing that with the MetLife Takeover would be a seamless transition right there.
Yeah,
we do big things, Michelle. We do big things over here.
I love it. I'm all about elevating this experience year after year and just adding to it. The more the merrier. So, if there's people who can't be there in person, but you're able to welcome them to the party, to the tailgate on game day and have them join virtually, like absolutely.
That's awesome. I want to.
It's all about the fans.
It's all about the fans. Sorry, I have to close the door real quick. That working from home thing.
Oh, we know.
It's awesome.
I know. So the game day. So we've talked about Saturday night. Game day starts super early. Like I'm usually at the bar by like 5:30 in the morning. We're setting stuff up because we have to check people in to get ready for the buses because we have charter buses that take anybody who wants to ride in from the city. Meets up at Slattery's. The bar opens at 7. We have free coffee and bagels for anyone who's taking the bus with us.
They're literally taking the saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere, literally over there on Sunday mornings there.
Oh yeah. I don't sleep. MetLife Takeover weekend, sleep is not a thing.
Yes.
But that's okay. The adrenaline is going. It's so fun. And so those couple hours in the morning go by really quickly because we're trying to get a lot done because we have all of our gear that we need to get on the buses. We have to make sure everyone gets checked in, gets on the buses. 7:45, we are out the door. I mean, we are like I'm a former camp counselor, so I know how to rally everyone together. Everyone has to be on the bus. Look who's sitting next to you. Make sure they get back on the bus after the field.
I love it.
So there's that piece of it. Then we ride the bus in. Everyone's finishing their coffee, their bagels. We're talking about the game, and then you kind of roll into the stadium, and then you're looking around. And you see the Jets fans, and there's a few like Dolphins fans here and there that I guess don't know about us yet, if that's possible. And so we're driving over to the bus lot, and then you turn the corner and you see Urban Tailgate, and they've got their grills, they've got their setup. Anybody who's coming in from outside of Manhattan who took their own transportation, they're already gathered there. And so you see this sea of Dolphins jerseys, and it's like, we're home.
It's like, what's your point, Ventura? Only this. All right,
and then you basically roll into Miami North.
So where can people, like if they want to get on to the MetLife Takeover, tell people where they can go? Or you guys are selling tickets already, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we have, honestly, what I think is the best deal in Dolphins NYC history. You get round trip bus ticket from the city with free bagels and coffee. You've got your ticket to the game where you're sitting with, 1,000 of your closest Dolphins friends. And you've got all you can eat and drink, tailgate, all of that for $150.
What?
Yeah.
It'd be like $150 on like the third party sites alone to get a ticket for that game.
Yeah. So you get all of that. And we
that is the best deal.
And we have a non-alcoholic tailgate option too. So you can enjoy the food, water, soda. Absolutely. We have that. And right now the prices are the lowest they are because the season hasn't started yet. Right. So like once the regular season starts, prices will go up. But this is honestly the best deal. The ticket prices, we were able to, while all the prices for everything else around the world are going up, we were able to negotiate a lower group ticket price. So this is probably the lowest that the tickets have cost in history.
And that's on MetLifeTakeover.com, right?
Yeah, you can find us anywhere. MetLifeTakeover.com, DolfansNYC.com, our Twitter at DolfansNYC. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Yeah.
Seth Zhu, one of the listeners, said, "Where can I sign up? I definitely want to go." I just put in the description, guys. MetLife Takeover. Yeah, let's make that happen. Let's do the thing. I'm super excited about it.
Thank you, Stephen. I saw a question pop up earlier, but I didn't have a chance to read it before it went away, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that was Estefan donating $5. I think he was trying to make a joke. He said, Michelle, where can you catch Cup of Joe? Michelle, Bob, and Weave stick and move on, Jets fans. I don't actually know what Estefan was trying to say, but all I know is he donated $5 to the channel and wanted his stuff shouted out. So, hey.
Awesome. Well, Cup of Joe, they broadcast. You can go to MiamiDolphins.com and get information on Cup of Joe. And, I mean, we all know and love Joe Rose, right? Like, He's
awesome. He's awesome.
Thanks, Chef Drew. We're excited to have you join us at the tailgate and at the game. The more, the merrier. Spread the word.
23rd, son. I will put the link in the description here in a minute. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on this morning. I do want to do just a quick little segue. My next guest is Angel Ortiz, who's coming on to talk UFC. But Angel, he's part of Valley Fanatics. I'll let you. Angel just wanted to say hi to you.
Hey, Michelle.
What's up? How are you?
What's up? It's good to see you, girlie. How you been?
I'm great. I'm jealous because I didn't have time to set up the backdrop. You've got a nice setup back there. I love it.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. I still got a bunch of stuff on the floor I got to put up. It's coming along.
That's awesome.
He's getting stuff ready for his new podcast. He's doing an MMA podcast on our YouTube, on our podcast network.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Are you excited about the fight this weekend?
Hold on. Sorry. I'm juggling this and my 7-year-old. Who's
That's okay. Michelle, I
appreciate
you coming on this morning. And we're going to talk behind the scenes about all of this.
Hey, Michelle, I'm coming up to Dolphins NYC for the tailgate again.
Awesome. That's amazing. I love to hear that.
Angel says he wants exclusive treatment, though. Like he has to be pampered. And never mind. Okay.
Hey, Michelle, thank you for coming on this morning.
In line for the tailgate, and yeah, definitely.
Thanks for coming on this morning. I'm going to reach out to you. I'll be up in Manhattan in 2 weeks, and I'd love to maybe grab a beer or a cup of Joe with you.
So I'm actually based in Florida. I moved back to Florida a few years ago, but I'm still running the club. Igor is up in New York, though.
Well, I'll get a hold of you and get a hold of Igor.
Where are you in Florida, Michelle?
I'm in Delray Beach.
Nice.
She's very close to me. Solo is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen Solo a few times. I have season tickets, so I will definitely stop by the tailgate, East 32.
Please do. And I live in Plantation, so let's get together before that.
That'd be awesome. Awesome. I'm pumped about the tailgate for sure. You guys, that's where the party is at for sure.
Absolutely.
Michelle, you're the best. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. So excited. MetLifeTakeover.com. Can't wait to see you guys there.
All
Have a great day, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. That was Michelle Stark Kramers of Dolphins NYC.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And oh man, she's the best, number one. her and Igor. They put on one hell of a show. Angel, you and I, we've had some pretty crazy MetLife takeovers, my friend.
They have been pretty spectacular, buddy.
Yes, they've involved a lot of particular alcoholic beverages and
a lot of frosty beverages going around.
Yes, just a few.
A lot of food.
And the Dolphins whooping up on the Jets. We've seen some pretty good beatdowns there.
Beautiful. I mean, but at this point, the Jets are like our evil stepchildren that we like to beat on.
We do not endorse that here at Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, Angel.
It's Spread Kindness Friday.
I know, it's Spread Kindness Friday. What are you doing?
We will gently beat them down. That's the best I can do, guys. That's the best I can do.
Well, speaking of beatdowns, we got a big beatdown coming up this weekend, right, man? Let's go.
Woo! Let's go.
Big card, right?
Yeah, it's a stacked card. I mean, I have it right here in front of me. It's an amazing stacked card from top to bottom. I mean, from the early prelims to the prelims to the actual fight itself. It's absolutely the main event. It's absolutely a spectacular fight card. And it's my birthday weekend. It doesn't get any better than that.
Happy birthday, Angel. Everybody in the chat
brother.
box, give a big shout. Happy birthday to Angel.
Happy birthday, brother.
Y'all. Appreciate that, y'all. But again, and we'll get into some of the fights here as we go along. But what is the fight that you're most excited about, guys? What's
outside of the main event?
Outside of the main event, what is the fight that you're most excited about?
Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane for me.
I knew you were going to say Sugar Shane.
Yeah, I love Sugar Shane.
Yeah.
Hey, for me, I think Carlos Condit's on the card.
Boom! Bingo! You hit it on the nail. So that's actually.
And I'm an old school MMA guy, and Carlos Condit, man, he was lethal, and I'm glad to see him back, performing.
And he's performing still at a high level, which is amazing. Yeah. The guy's had a crap ton of fights. He's actually one of my more favorite type of fighters because he just brings it every fight. If you've watched him fight, everybody from Nick Diaz to whoever, I mean, he's always been in that fight. I like the Carlos Condit versus Matt Gilliam fight. I do. Another fight that's on the prelims that I really like is the Nico Price fight versus the Michael Poirier fight. That fight is really, really good. And then,
and how about Wonder Boy and Gilbert Burns, man? Gilbert Burns got his block knocked off last fight. He's looking to come back. Wonder Boy, man, he's good, and so I'm looking forward to that fight as well.
Word around the industry is that Burns and Thompson almost already got into an actual street brawl between each other. So I don't know how you can get into a street ball with Wonder Boy. He's super nice. Like the guy is like the nicest guy in combat sports altogether.
And let's talk about Greg Hardy. I mean, we're talking an ex-Dallas Cowboy,
former NFL player. Yep.
That really has started to take this sport seriously, and his athleticism is now showing.
Yeah, I mean, he's Greg Hardy's come a long way. He really has. He's stepping his game up each and every fight, but he's fighting Samoan brick wall. He's fighting Tai Tuivasa. Yeah. And this Tai Tuivasa's kicks, I mean, this guy throws flying knees for a heavyweight. He's very mobile. This is a really tough fight for Greg Hardy.
It is. And it'll prove where Greg Hardy is in his career, in MMA career.
Right. If Greg Hardy beats Tai Tuivasa, Greg Hardy should enter into the top 10 of the heavyweights. I mean,
agreed.
Greg Hardy's sitting at 7-3. His last fight is a loss. He's 6'5", 265 pounds, and he's got an 80-inch reach. So he's got a 5-inch reach over his opponent.
Right.
That plays a big difference.
It doesn't matter. Ty's head is like a concrete block.
That's what I'm trying to say. That guy is that typical big Samoan from the Big Island.
Samoa.
Got a big old head, you hit him, you might hurt your hand kind of thing. So he's coming back.
All right, I want to talk this, man. Let's talk. Give me my guy. Give me my Sugar Sean fight, man.
I think Sugar Sean is already looking past this kid, and that's going to be a big mistake for Sugar Sean. This kid that's coming up, he's a tough kid. He actually has the funky hair just like Sugar Sean. But Sugar Sean's the real deal. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Sugar Sean's 13-1. He's 5'11". He's a $135. He's fighting Chris Matuno, who's 9-4. Look, I think Sugar Sean is one of the most electric person in the game right now, and my opinion, people, this is the fight of the night. That's what I think.
I think it's going to be a great fight. That's not what I'm looking at for my fight of the night picture per se, but I think that's a good fight for
What's
him.
your fight of the night, man?
Honestly, all right. So I like the Ryan Hall versus Ilya Tapoa fight. If you know anything about Ryan Hall, he's actually a DMV fighter. He's on the prelims of the card. He's originally from the DC metropolitan area. He's trained out of Crazy 88, which is a local gym out here. And they got some heavy hitters and some killers, man. They got a guy right now that's fighting at 1FC. If you know anything about him, he's the current lightweight and heavyweight champion. Light heavyweight and middleweight champion.
I was about to say lightweight and heavyweight champion.
No,
Boy,
I'm sorry. Not light, I meant light heavyweight and middleweight champion. I apologize.
So Ryan Hall, the Wizard.
And for me, I'm going to the early prelims.
There we go.
And I love the female fight game. And I can remember back when White said that he'll never have women on his card, and now the women are just as much a part of the fight game as they should be.
We got a big Dolphins fan in Amanda Nunez, who's the current champion. Big
Jessica I right here. Jessica I is who, is an up and comer, and she's had some good fights, man. But this fight against Maya, man, it's going to be a good brawl.
That's going to be a great fight. And let me tell you about these women fighters, man. They don't hold back. Where the men are tentative, kind of feeling each other out process, these ladies, they just go. And it always makes for exciting fights. And they put on great fights. And I'm really excited about that fight. And that's probably my favorite fight of the early prelims.
Mine too. Yep.
Just guy.
All right, let's talk about why everybody's here in the first place, right? And that is Dustin Poirier, the Diamond, versus the notorious Conor McGregor. I understand where Conor is in his career, and I get that Poirier is top 10 pound for pound fighter in the game. But what does Conor have to do to win this fight, Angel?
Conor needs to pull the old Conor out of his ass and get in there and fight like he knows how to fight. If you watched the press conference yesterday, Conor owned that press. It was the Conor.
He did. It was great. He took the hot sauce. He took a bottle of hot sauce
and threw it to the fans. Yeah. So I mean, Conor McGregor is no one sells tickets like that dude. Like it's just in pay-per-views. He's the highest grossing pay-per-view fighter in the UFC history. The guy with all these guys like Sugar Sean and all these guys are trying to do the Conor McGregor thing, but nothing's like Conor McGregor. And I think he got a bit into the Diamond's head there a little bit when he started talking about the man's wife and all this other stuff.
Conor doesn't play.
No, he's ignorant. But
you know what? Dustin's been around, and it's not going to bother Diamond Dustin, And Diamond has a confidence now that he knows he can beat Conor, and he can do it again.
Yeah, they have Diamond at minus 130 so far.
Yeah, man. And Vegas knows.
So, I honestly like my choice. I can't go against the Diamond. I mean, he's representing Florida. He's representing Louisiana. I'm with the Diamond all day on this fight. I'm not a big Conor fan. My wife, on the other hand,
y'all can hate on my man if y'all want to. Hate on him. He is here for the hate.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But Conor, if
Conor pulls it out, bro, I want to see you. I'm glad you had shorts on and not just underwear. I'm just saying, Angel. I'm glad you had. Never mind. Not gonna go there, bro. If Conor pulls it out, bro, I need you on here because I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna be on my best Conor trash game on Monday.
Come Come correct though. You better come correct because if he doesn't,
I know this is probably not gonna happen.
Steve and Angel, I think if Conor wins this match, it's going to be in the first round. And Dustin wore him down the last fight and showed that his cardio was a little bit better in Conor, which never has been done before, and really attacked Conor's legs. And if he sticks to that game plan, Dustin has got a great shot.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So like you said, Conor needs to beat this within the first 3 rounds. He has to. Because if he goes anything past that, that's Dustin Poirier's dimension.
Absolutely.
Dustin will pull a Nate Diaz and carry this as long as he can until he gets to the 5th and final round, where, as we know what happens to Conor, then his energy level drops from here down there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that is a fight that can go either way. Dustin's got great striking. He's got a chin. He can fight. He's got the cardio and energy. But McGregor, like the other day, somebody said McGregor was one-dimensional. That's absolutely ridiculous. McGregor is
ridiculous.
McGregor is everything MMA. Like he does. He's got grappling. He's got striking. He's got athleticism. I mean, it's you see Conor McGregor. It's Conor McGregor. And
it's funny. How does Conor win this fight? In my eyes, he takes Dustin to the ground. He controls the fight on the ground and does something that Conor really has never done in the ring before, because his length and reach is so superior to everybody, and his punching power and his precision. But if he starts grappling, I think Conor could do something special here.
If Conor takes Dustin Poirier down and grounds and pounds him
and gets in his head,
oh my God, I don't even know what I would say to that. I wouldn't even have anything to come back for that. Like,
it would be amazing.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, it'd be great to see. I mean, that's why you gotta love mixed martial arts, man.
And that's why we tune in. That's why we pay the $69 to see this fight.
So we're here with Angel Ortiz, MMA, aka Conor McGregor fanboys. I just changed
no, stop it. Stop it. That is not true. I'm Team Diamond all day. Not even close.
All right, so real quick, because you do combat sports, all combat sports. So
yeah, I've been involved in the game for about 25 years now.
Tyson Fury,
yeah.
Wilder fight got postponed yesterday. You saw?
Yeah.
Of
course it did. That guy needs more time.
That's what I think, dude.
Wilder
I'm like,
needs more time,
this
man.
is real convenient.
Listen, Tyson Fury.
I personally think, here's what I truly think, and I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to boxing. I don't think they sold enough pay-per-views to compete with UFC.
They can't. Yeah.
And I think they said we need to postpone this so that we get more pay-per-views. That's what I truly think.
Yeah. I'm honestly, if Wilder loses that fight against Fury, yeah, he's done. Like Fury,
they're both done.
Yeah,
I agree. This fight is like 5 years too late.
I think Fury needs to fight Anthony Joshua, and I think he'll beat Anthony Joshua. I'm not looking past Wilder. Don't get me wrong, but Wilder, I think Wilder is one-dimensional. He's got one-punch knockout power. Fury knows it. Fury is a boxing expert. Like, he knows boxing, and he knows he's got great ring generalship. He understands his footwork for heavyweight is amazing. I mean, he's a big guy.
Like, his feints are world class.
6'7". I mean, he's a big dude. He looks like a center in the NBA. Like, he's a big guy. But he goes in there, and I mean, he that jab, he's crisp, he's sharp, he's throwing punches, and then next thing you know, he's putting the weight on Deontay Wilder like he did the last fight, put all that weight on him, and beat him down. That's called boxing. That's the art of boxing. And so Wilder, he'll beat Wilder again, and then he'll call Joshua out, and we'll hopefully before the end of the year or even early of next year, that fight happens.
All right, man. Well, look, I'm glad I got you on this morning. I wanted to talk with you. I got a big weekend planned. I'm actually going to be up in New York City this weekend, so we're not going to get to do the stream, but that's okay because we got some big stuff coming in. I want you to announce the name of your podcast show. Why I have you up here, man.
Oh, we dropping that bomb right now?
We can drop that bomb right now.
All right. Drum roll, please. This is the Fire and Ice Combat Sports Podcast on Miami Sports Music.
The Fire and Ice Combat Sports Show on Miami Sports Music. That will be debuting in the next week or two. probably the week after, just so we can get everything squared away with the graphics and everything. But that'll be every week, once a week, right?
Yep.
I'm super excited about it. It's going to be right here in the evening time.
Be great.
7 to 8 or 8 to 9.
I believe it's 7. I believe he said 7 to 8 or 7 to 9 or something like whatever. I think something like that.
But
it's a very interactive show. I'm going to be interacting with everybody on the fans and stuff. We're going to be discussing not just the UFC, but we're going to be discussing all combat sports: Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, grappling, jiu-jitsu matches, and wrestling, and everything combat sports related.
AB asked what day did you
Thursday.
Thursday. So Thursday nights, probably 2 weeks from now. So let's say Thursday on July 22nd will be the very first show. Thursday, July 22nd at 7 p.m. will be the very first show of the Fire and Ice Combat show hosted by Angel Ortiz on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Dude, I'm stoked.
Hey, it's good. I'm excited, man. I'm honored to be a part of Miami Sports Music Radio and podcast. It's a blessing, man, and I'm great to be able to share what my passion for the sport of combat sports and you know, if you guys love the sport as much as I do, bring it. Let's go. Let's talk. I want to hear all the smack talk. This is a complete interactive show, so let's get in it.
All right. Look, real quick, do you want to talk any thoughts on training camp coming up, for the Dolphins? Anything you want to give your thoughts on X, any of the stories for the Dolphins real quick?
I honestly think X will stay with the team. I think they're going to figure that out and get that sorted out, and he'll be there. I don't see him being traded. I don't see that happening. And I'm really excited to see what Jalen Waddle brings to the offense. I mean, I want to see, how he handles the pressure of the NFL because, again, NFL speed is different. Everybody can hype up the rookies as much as they want to and all that stuff, but when it comes to NFL speed, everybody's fast. Everybody's, so let's see how these guys step up. And I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited for training camp. I'm really excited for this preseason, going into the season, man. It's football, baby. It's here. Let's go.
It's time. I had to do it.
You had to go. Let's do it.
All right, bro. I love you, man. Be good. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
I need to come to your tailgate, baby.
Hey, you're welcome anytime. We'd love to have you on and maybe have me on your podcast, your MMA podcast.
Let's do it. Love to have you, man.
And I just noticed you're from Winchester, Virginia, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been up there a couple times, man. I have a good friend, but we'll talk about that later.
Nice. Absolutely, man. Like I said, I'm excited for these fights this weekend.
Where can people follow you? At Angel Ortiz MMA. Are you going to tweet and stuff during the fights this weekend so people can interact with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I am. The UFC has posted some of my tweets. I mean, I'm definitely going to be, interacting with people on Twitter. And yeah, man, guys, I mean, tune in. The fights are going to be fantastic. I mean, everything.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. Be good, man. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Too. Yeah, fins up, fellas.
Enjoy your weekend, brother.
Let's go.
All right, this is the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Bro, this has been a crazy morning.
Man, it has been a great morning. It's flowed. We've had some great guests, some great dialogue, man. It is exciting here at Miami Sports Music. Clock Blockers.
We got so much stuff coming on. We have a big announcement next week with a merger. I've already kind of teased that. Dude, look at that. Look at that. Look at that, man. So for those of you who don't know, Cameron's at Wrigley Field today. Did the show live from Wrigley Field, man.
Yeah, I was hoping to get out in the players' parking lot. They kind of kicked me out a little bit.
Where are you? Where are you sitting today?
Oh, there's only one place to sit when you're in Wrigley Field, and that's the left field bleachers.
Left field bleachers, baby. Are you a bleacher creature? I don't think they call bleacher creatures out
bleacher
there.
Bums is what
bleacher bums. Okay.
So let me talk about that. The bleacher bums. It's funny on the local public broadcasting station here. There was a skit called the Bleacher Bums, and it actually featured some of the old Saturday Night Live characters, Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi and Chevy Chase, and you should check it out on YouTube sometime. It was called the Bleacher Bums, and it actually morphed into a Saturday Night Live skit.
All right, man. Do you want to do like 5 or 10 minutes of Dolphin talk and then get on out of here for the day?
Let's do it. Whatever you want to talk about.
All right. Well, I want to talk about, the preseason. I think the thing for me that's coming up, which is really, really cool, is we're actually going to have a preseason. And so I think that's going to be such a big thing for some of these positions like wide receiver, the 6th, 7th, and 8th spots. It'll be very interesting to see how Hunter Long does, as well as, Adam Shaheen, if he's going to make this team, anybody in the tight end room. And then, I'm excited to see guys like Malcolm Brown, Juice, the running backs. I think it's funny because all the positions I'm bringing up are offense, and I want to get into the defense in a minute. But how big for the depth of this roster is the preseason going to be?
It's going to be huge, and not only the preseason, but the training camp. And, every year an injury happens, right? Something's going to shake out. And my focus and interest is really on that wide receivers room first, and not so much Waddle and Fuller and Parker because, I think those guys are locks. But I'm really interested to see what happens with Preston Williams if he comes back healthy and if he can maintain a spot on this roster. Because I tell you, if he's not healthy, if he can't produce in training camp, even though he's got on a team-friendly deal on his rookie contract, there's not room for him. You guys got guys behind him like Foster, they signed and that can do what he does. So I'm really excited to see what happens with Preston Williams first.
Yeah, I think, it's funny. You bring up Preston Williams. Preston Williams has always shown great, not potential. I think he's shown what he can be when he's healthy, right?
The first 6 games last year, he was the unicorn, right? He was the number 1 receiver on this team before injury. So, the potential's there. And I call him the unicorn because the guy's 6'6", 6'7", whatever he is, and does a 4.3, 4.4 40 and goes up and he high points catches and he can run from the slot. At Colorado State, he was in the slot almost 60% of his route. So he provides an amazing disadvantage to the defenses if he's healthy and on the field.
No doubt about that. Guys, I haven't asked anybody today to hit that like button, and I need to. Only 13 likes this morning. Go smack that like button. I'm not playing with y'all.
Hey, man, let's fire up this chat room and get it going because we're talking Dolphins right now. Hit that like button. Donate. It's Spread Kindness Friday. Let's go.
Yeah, man, it is Spread Kindness Friday. If you want to donate to the channel, there's a few different ways to donate. Shout out to Estefan for already donating this morning during some of the interviews. We have PayPal, we have Cash App, and we also have the Super Chat. So if you donate to the channel, it goes to helping our channel grow. And that's always a big thing here in trying to move this podcast network forward and be big. All right. Now that we got all the housekeeping stuff out the way, I want to ask, man, Kirk Merritt. Does Kirk Merritt have a spot on this team? Because I love the potential that he shows. I just don't see him. If we ask him to go to the practice squad, I think there's another team that's going to be like, come play with our actives, with our 53. And I just don't know.
Kirk Merritt is one of those guys that's got to earn his way on, right? He's got to beat somebody out. And I think that's Jakeem Grant. And then he also has to, prove that he's a special teams guy, that he can play special teams and excel at it. He's got to be an asset to the team. And I agree. I think he's a player that could be plucked off the practice squad if he's left available.
Yeah, man, it is absolutely amazing. All right. Oh, now the chat box is going crazy and people are hitting that like button. Let's go.
Got to start talking Dolphins.
Marcos asked, what about Allen Hurns?
Man, I know the team love Allen Hurns, but he's another one, man. He's got to earn a spot on this team. Personally, I think they keep 7 wide receivers, and I think Mac Hollins makes it over Allen Hurns because Mac Hollins is a special teamer. He's a gunner, and he does it better than anybody on the roster. And so we just mentioned Kirk Merritt, Allen Hurns, Preston Williams, and Matt Collins. Those are all guys that are on that bubble.
I want to see Matt Collins make this team so bad, just because of the person he is. It is definitely a big deal. Let's see what else do we have here? Irving says Jakeem Grant is out. Raging Dolphins Maniac says anybody on the practice squad could be picked up by any other team. Most of the guys have talent this year. I've been saying that, Raging Dolphins Maniac, that this is the first year that I can remember where depth has been at a premium. Or it's I shouldn't say it's been at a premium, but it's there. And I don't remember the last time we can say that.
And don't discount the opportunity for a trade to happen. You know, Jakeem Grant is an attractive piece. He was an All-Pro candidate last year, right? He's one of the top.
No, he won the candidate. He won. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the top punt returners, kick returners in the league. You know, so there are teams out there. Yeah, the guy flips the field, and he proves that he can do that. So if he's not going to make this team, you know, believe me, Greer is going to look for an opportunity to strengthen another area, perhaps center, perhaps, you know, linebacker, that we can provide depth from, you know, our depth at wide receiver.
23rd says depth, not debt. I know 23rd, son. I hear you. All right. As a matter of fact, 23rd debt, you asked for me to put in the link to join the channel. I'll put that up here in a minute. Earlier in the program. Let's see here. We need to trade Devontae Parker. What do you think about Devontae Parker?
I think he's your number one receiver, and I don't think that he's getting traded unless somebody comes along and offers something stupid, which I don't think anybody's going to offer anything for Devontae Parker, knowing his injury history.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you look at Devontae Parker, I think what he's going to do is all the coverages that Waddle's going to get this year, Devontae's going to have a monster year. A monster year. I think Waddle's going to be the best receiver on this team. But I think the person with the best stats this year is going to be Devontae Parker.
I don't disagree with you. That opportunity could happen. I think it's going to be Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller and Waddle are on this team to blow the tops off defenses, opening up the middle of the field for Gesicki or whoever, you know, is going to be running the tight end routes, and Parker. So there's definitely a lot of options and opportunities. And I think what Greer did in drafting Waddle and signing Will Fuller, I think those two moves, I think will prove to be instrumental in this team's success.
I 100% agree. I think that when you see that, hey, 23rd son in the chat box right now, I am putting the link to join the channel. So if you want to become a member of the channel, like my man Dolphin Don, Estefan, Chef Zhu, Big John, I love you, Big John. You're the man, brother. Irving.
And let me tell you, Stephen, Bones made up a great point, and I'm 100% behind Albert Wilson and what he is going to bring to the table. I think Albert.
He's got to be healthy, though. He's got to be healthy.
He's 100% healthy. You know, and taking last year off, I think was a great move for him to get that hip healthy. You know, when he came back in 2020, I think it was, you know, those 3 games that he played, he was really good, but he wasn't great like he was before his injury. And now he's fully healthy. I think, look out.
Let's talk about the running backs, man. You know, if our boy Mark Angelo was up here, he is very adamant that Malcolm Brown is going to be the go-to guy this year.
Look, if Malcolm Brown's the go-to guy, that means that we're in a lot of third and short situations. I love my man Mark, but I don't see it. I think for this type of offense that they're going to run, I think Gaskin, he'll go for 1,000 this year easy if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You know, what about, you know, Juice?
Who's that?
The running back we got in the 7th round.
Oh, Dokes.
Jared Dokes. I'm sorry.
Jared Dokes, yeah. Yeah, no, Jared Dokes, you know, so if you look at the running back room, you've got 5 running backs on the roster, right? 6, really. including Jordan Scarlett, who Tua loves, by the way. You've got Gaskin and Ahmed, who by and large the same player. You've got
from
Malcolm
the same
Brown.
school.
Yeah, and the same player. You got Malcolm Brown and Jared Dokes, pretty much the same players. Although I'll say Jared Dokes is showing at Cincinnati that he can catch the ball really well. And then you got Patrick Laird and Jordan Scarlett. But my point is that Ahmed and Gaskin are the same player. So if one goes down with injury, you plug another one in, and same with Brown and Dokes. Short yardage, eat the clock type guys.
Irving said Alan Hearns' contract is horrible. If we don't cut him, it has dead money value of the cap, 1.6 mil and 1.2 mil in cap savings. If you cut him, you only save 500 if you restructure trading Hearns. I actually thought Alan Hearns had one of the best. I thought Hearns had one of the most contract friendly, contracts of the players. Yeah, team friendly contracts of all the players.
Listen, they had Alan Hearns on a yo-yo. He's just a guy, right? He's a jag at this point. He's not gonna move the needle one way or other. He's always going to be the 5th or 6th, 7th receiver. So, whether they do or don't, it's not going to kill me one way or the other.
Let me ask you about the offensive line before we get into the defense real quick. I said this yesterday or the day before on the show that I think that DJ Fluker is going to be the guy to watch in the preseason to see how good he's going to be. And then the second person right behind him will be Michael Dieter. What do you think about the depth of the offensive line and seeing them in the preseason?
Listen, I'm worried about center. Skura had a horrible year, according to Pro Football Focus. But before that, he was one of the best centers. So if they can get his mind right and get his snaps right, maybe they found something there. This is Dieter's 4th or 5th year, I believe. Mm-hmm. And, he's got to make the roster. Wouldn't be surprised me if he's cut and beat out because they did sign Fluker. They did have depth at the guard position. And they still have Davis on this roster who can play all the positions. So, it'll be an interesting battle, as it should be. You want to take your best 7 offensive linemen to the 53.
Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. If you donate to the channel, you're helping the channel grow. Use the YouTube Live Super Chat, PayPal, and Cash App. All right, real quick, let's talk a little defense, man, because I'm looking at the depth chart, and, one of the things I want to see this year is Christian Wilkins get more playing time. Let's talk with Christian Wilkins first. Is he going to see a bigger percentage of playing time this year?
I don't think so. And here's why.
And a lot of people don't.
And here's why, because there's versatility in the defensive front, and it depends on the situation, but the defense needs to be dictating, to the opposing offenses what's going on the field. Underrated on this team is Jack Seiler. And what he did last year was nothing short
Zach
of phenomenal.
Seiler, right? Zach
Seiler, yes. Nothing short of phenomenal. He was the 3rd rated, according to Pro Football Focus, defensive tackle behind Aaron Donald, and I can't remember the second, as far as quarterback pressures go and his PFF rating. And my point and how he correlates to Christian Wilkins is that I think Zach Seiler stays on the field equally, if not more, because he's a little bit more pronounced in the run game. Versus Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins is a move upfield, collapse the pocket type guy who's going to pressure the quarterback and work sideline to sideline. Zach Seiler is a little bit more stout against the run. And forgive me, I forgot the guy's name we signed off of the Patriots. That's a big 320-pound run stopper. But
Adam Butler.
Adam Butler's going to eat into Christian Wilkins' minutes as well. And then you got the kid from Alabama who had a tremendous year last year. So I don't think it's going to bother me that Wilkins doesn't get more snaps than he did last year, because I think he's going to play a role and play it in a wonderful way.
Definitely. I like what you said there. I think you brought up some really, really good points. Let's look at the linebacker room. Andrew Van Ginkel, Vince Beagle, Landon Roberts, Sam Givion, however you say his damn name, and Brendan Scarlett. Tell me, besides, look, you look at Phillips, Benardrick McKinney, Jerome Baker, and Emmanuel Agba. Those are the names for me that are going to have some of the biggest impacts on the linebacking this year and how successful our defense is.
So if they play a hybrid 3-4 defense, right? So let's say you got Davis in the middle, Seiler and Wilkins on each side of Davis, playing the 3 technique. And then you've got Van Ginkel and Jalen Phillips on the outside. Boy, look out. Look out. You got Baker and McKinney in the middle. Look out. And then you got Eguavoen and Vince Beagle, as depth pieces that, could start for most of the teams in the league.
Look, man, the guy that I want to see just step up again is Van Ginkel. I want to see him take another step forward. Look, here's the thing. I got to bring up his name, Zach Thomas, right? We look at Zach, and to me, there's so many similarities. I'm not saying size-wise they're the same. I'm just saying the way they play, to me, is the same. And I look at Van Ginkel, and I look at Zach, and I see Zach Thomas in him. And I think Van Ginkel could be one of the best linebackers in the game. He's got the potential there to be that.
Man, I see a Kyle Van Noy, 10, 12 years younger. Somebody who pursues the quarterback, collapses the pocket from the edge, and can run sideline to sideline and cover a tight end, down the field. And that's what Kyle Van Noy was doing, with the Patriots in his heyday.
He was.
And that's what Van Ginkel brings to this game. And I think Jalen Phillips does in a similar way. And I see a ton, and don't skewer from me for saying this, a ton of Jason Taylor and Jalen Phillips.
You're not going to get anything from me. I think Jalen Phillips is, when it's all said and done, he's going to – I know this is a very weird statement to say, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. I truly think he's going to be that good.
Hey,
I think he's going to be that good.
First game under his
I know, right? Let's baby steps, baby. Baby steps. Let the man play a game. I got you. Okay, secondary, man. If Xavier Howard is not here, what does the secondary look like? Because – I'm looking at the ESPN depth chart and want to give a big shout out to Angel Ortiz with the $5 donation. Shout out to Angel. Guys, get those donations coming in. Let's help the channel grow. Bones, why aren't you a member of the channel yet? Let's go. And you too, Duke Tomlinson over there in Australia and the Down Under. Look.
Yeah. And Bones in NorCal, man. Don't rake me over the coals. I said Van Ginkel was, he's good as Van Noy was back in the day when Van Noy was killing teams. But Van Noy is not that player nowadays. But Van Ginkel absolutely has that potential, and I think he'll take that next step up. As far as the backfield, bro, I don't think Xavier goes anywhere.
I don't either. But if he does, what does the secondary look like?
Not bad at all, man. You got Igby, and you've got what's the other guy's name?
Brandon Jones.
Nope.
Jamal Perry.
Nope.
Nick Needham.
Jason
McCourty.
Yeah, and McCourty's on the team as well, which was a huge signing, but for a depth signing. But listen, X isn't going anywhere. You got Byron Jones on the other side. They will prove again to be, two of the best corner tandems in the league. And I think Igby plays a lot of the slot and will take a giant step this year. Remember, he was the youngest player in the league last year.
I know. It's crazy.
Really maturing into his body and into the game. I think he makes a gigantic step. And if we were to lose X, I think Igby slides right in with no questions asked.
It's funny you bring up the age. Dolphins are the youngest team in the NFL. And when you see not a lot of experience, right? When you see that the first thing that comes to mind is what mental mistakes are these guys going to make that are going to play the difference between a win and a loss. And one of the things that I saw last year, especially at the beginning, is there were games where we had maybe one or two flags. That was it. And so the mental mistakes were not there. So I think that's one of the things that Coach Flo does great is there's not a lot of mental mistakes on this team. And we've had that in the past. You know that. We've had some bad teams that we end up with 10 to 15 penalties for over 150 yards, and they played a huge difference in why we won or lost the game.
No, I agree. And you bring up a great point about coaching. And the key to this team's success is their youth and their coaching, right? You draft well, you coach them up, you coach, not to make mistakes on the field, know their assignments, and you draft a certain type of player that buys into the team, that is smart, knows football, loves football, first and foremost. And it's up to the coaching staff to put them in the right positions to succeed. And I think that's what Flores does best.
Last two things I want to talk to you about before I let you go.
Yeah, man.
Michael Parladay is the punter. I don't even think I'm saying his last name correctly yet. My hope is that I don't have to learn it because he doesn't play. But it was big. I feel like in the past we've done really, really good on special teams, but we've kind of kicked around the tires on the punter here. And this guy had a pretty big injury. He was with Carolina, but before he got hurt, he was one of the best punters in the league. Did we upgrade at this position?
I think we upgraded if he's healthy, and I don't think they would have signed him if he weren't healthy.
Okay. All right. And then the last thing is Jakeem Grant. If Jakeem Grant is gone, who's doing punt returns and kick returns this year?
My daughter would be devastated if Jakeem Grant isn't on the team this year.
Tell her to come here. I want to see her. Say hello.
Say hello.
Hi.
Say fins up.
Fins up.
I like it.
So, yeah, Jakeem Grant's her player, man, and she would love to see him on the team. Who returns punt? Who knows? It could be.
People don't want to say Waddle. I think Waddle does.
You put the best players in positions to succeed, and Waddle is the best punt kick returner in college football. And they said that about Devin Hester, man, back in the day, coming out of Miami. And
he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, right?
No, he's in the Canes Hall of Fame, but he should
be in the NFL Hall of Fame as a returner.
100%, because there was no one more electrifying and exciting that could change the complexity of the game, flip the field, if not take it to the house, every time he had the ball in his hands on a kick or punt return. That's what Jakeem Grant does. That's what Jalen Waddle does. And so I think if Grant doesn't prove that he can run routes and catch the ball, then I think he's on the bubble.
All day. All right, dude. This has been an amazing and fun show. We've talked about everything from, UFC to the Miami Marlins walk-off. We've talked about the home run derby. We've talked about UFC. We've talked about boxing. We've talked about tailgating and the MetLife Takeover and East 32 Dolphins. I mean, this show has literally had everything.
It was an awesome show this morning, man. Awesome show on a Spread Kindness Friday.
It is Spread Kindness Friday. And for those of you who don't know what Spread Kindness Friday is, if you look at my handle right here, Stephen D. SKPL, go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It says spread kindness, positivity, and love. And love, as Cameron's doing that there. Dude, you start getting used to it, and you're like, okay, right here. Look, man, this has been such a fun show. I have my brother-in-law and his family here this weekend. They came in at like midnight last night. And so we're going to be in New York City tomorrow all day, which I'm pretty excited about.
Outstanding. Well, you enjoy that weekend of yours. I'm going to go start enjoying a couple cold libations.
Dude, let me see the stadium again. Let me see the stadium one more time.
Look at that. That's Mecca for me, man. Wrigley Field.
I expect a couple of selfies at the game today, dude.
You kid, I'm the selfie king.
Bro, I love you, man. I appreciate you being on the show.
Hey, it's a pleasure always being here on Spring Kindness Friday. I love the Clockblockers fam, and big things are happening. Can't wait.
Big things are most definitely happening. When you get back from vacation, we're going to talk all about that. All right, brother, have fun. And for those of you who are looking at everything, I want you guys to go spread an act of kindness on this Friday today. Thank you for joining us on the #1 Miami fan morning show, which is Clockblockers. And make sure you guys go visit the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network at Miami Sports Music on all of the platforms here. Also, you guys want to check out a really cool interview? Bad Bruno and Solo D was a great interview. Hey, Cam, when you're just driving or you're listening back, you got to listen to this interview I did with Bad Bruno and Solo D. It's pretty good.
You got it, brother. Everybody enjoy that weekend.
All right, y'all be good. Have a wonderful week. And as always, Fins up.
Go Cubs.